If you're in the game of predictions, you're almost always going to be wrong. Sometimes you're almost always going to be right. Human beings are notoriously bad at predictions. Look at all the people that have been calling for a recession and broader economic decline since. So you can never say never, right? Like, I'm not going to sit up here with a crystal ball and tell you there's no chance Bitcoin could go to $50,000 or $60,000, because I do think there's so many indications of this cycle actually being different objectively. Number one, which I think you have to be honest about if you are a bull or a bear, is that we didn't get some, huge blow off bubbly type move. The big thing you got to think about markets is that moves are relative, and they're also very much mean reverting. Okay, so what do I mean by that? If you take a rubber band and you stretch it, right, like you have in prior bull markets, the classic one that I think most Bitcoiners associate with that are a little bit have been in the market for a while is the 2017. When we go from $1,000 roughly at the beginning of the year in 2017 to 19,600. You're stretching the rubber band. You're putting it, over its skis to the point where it needs to snap back. So flash forward to now, you don't have the rubber band pulled. I view there being very little slack in the Bitcoin market. I say there's always the fast money, the tourist money, right? Mm-hmm. I don't think there's any tourist money in Bitcoin. I don't think people were piling into Bitcoin in 2025 with the expectation that they were going to sell after, a 20% decline. There was far more other options in the marketplace, from the quantum stocks and the mining stocks. There's some excess there, right? But Bitcoin natively, I think there's very few sellers. In past cycles, when there was fear in the marketplace, people just stopped buying, right? The bid fell out. This happened particularly in 2018. I think it definitely happened in 2022 when the bond market was in chaos, when you had the 10-year bearing down at 5%, when you had massive contagion in the crypto markets where FTX was going down and Alameda and Three Arrows. You don't have that. You don't have some systematic failure where people are literally wondering what will be the next entity to go into bankruptcy. So explain to me, again, what is the next marginal seller that's going to come into the market other than a U.S. recession, which I don't see, that's going to cause us to cascade down? I don't see it.